Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm Sam, your host, and today me and Napasa are back again with another exciting episode of Daily Immigration Dose that is streaming live at 4 p.m. EST from Monday to Friday. Napasa, hi, how are you?
I'm good, Sam. So good to be here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm Nipasa Pradhan and co hosting today with Sam. And this is Daily Immigration Dose. So, yes, just like Sam has said, we come Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's really good to be here. And yes, before we start off, we have this important disclaimer. And that is by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We are streaming live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X. And you can also join us in this conversation. All you have to do is dial this number 425 sorry, once again, I repeat 425 436 6335. And when they ask for the access code, just dial in 988 888, and just say hello. We'll be able to hear you. Thank you so much. And Sam, let's talk about today's topic then, what we are here to discuss.
I think today that is a topic, it's very provocative and highly debatable topic. That is, does immigration hurt American workers? Analyzing and claims realities. So I think, guys, there's a lot of claims out there, but what does the evidence actually say? We are going to talk about it. In today's episode, we are going to break it down with facts and case studies and also real world examples too. And we will dive deep into the facts and myths that are surrounding this issue. And I hope by the end of this show, we will give you a clearer perspective on how immigration impacts the American workforce. So I think before diving into today's topic, let's have a look on some of the latest news updates that's
Sure.
happening around the world. And that news will be related to immigration. So I think it's the best thing that we can have right now. Guys, here's the first news that I would like to highlight that US universities are urging international students and staff to return to campus before President elect Donald Trump takes office in January due to concerns over potential immigration crackdowns. Trump has also pledged mass deportation and changes to immigration policies, including targeting undocumented students. Universities like the Universities of Wesleyan and MIT have issued travel advisories advising students to return before January 20. About 408,000 undocumented students are enrolled in US higher education. And many are actually fear about the impact of Trump's immigration plans, especially students from countries like China. And students also express the anxiety over visa issues and uncertainty about their future. Well, Donald Trump has also vowed to impose major tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China on his very first day in office. He also announced a 25% tariff on all goods from Mexico and Canada and a 10% tariff on Chinese goods, citing fentanyl, smuggling, and illegal immigration as reasons. Well, China and Canada actually warned against the tariffs, and with China stating that no one will win a trade war. Well, these tariffs follow Trump's previous aggressive trade policies during his presidency. Also, the US Department of Homeland Security has just announced that Lebanon has been designated for temporary protected status. So, it actually means that how it's going to affect you. On October 17, 2024, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas had made this announcement that Lebanon is now eligible for temporary protected status. This means that the Lebanese nationals who are already in the US can apply for TPS, allowing them to stay in the country legally for 18 months. There's also good news, guys, for F1 students from Lebanon. That is, the US has introduced special student relief program. This means that eligible students can work more hours while studying and reduce their course load and still maintain their F1 status. So I think these were some of the latest news updates from my end. Now, following Napasa, please go ahead and share more news updates.
Yes, but before okay, let me start off with this first news. I think then we'll go ahead with our discussion for today. Thank you, Sam, and those were some great news updates. And folks out there, I hope you are joined in, and thank you so much. If you want to also join in, the details are on the screen and also on the comments pinned up. So check it out and join us. And meanwhile, I have these news for you. First off, as President elect Donald Trump gears up for his second administration, one of his signature campaign promises is career center stage again. Stricter immigration policies, plans for mass deportations, new detention centers, and workplace raids have sparked national debate, of course. And the real question is, will these policies truly help American workers? And the we also have some of his allies, Trump's allies, who say that immigration hurts American workers. So I think this is with regard to that news. And
Mhm.
um, And so, yes, while Trump and his allies often cite crime and law enforcement as reasons for cracking down on immigration, there's growing conservative movement claiming that reducing the flow of undocumented immigrants could boost opportunities for US born workers. So, Vice President elect JD Vance is a leading voice in this camp, and he argues that the reliance on low wage, undocumented labor undermines American workers, forcing them out of the labor market. According to Vance, cutting off this labor supply will compel businesses to hire domestically and improve conditions for US workers. And then studies show that labor force participation among prime working age men has declined over the decades, and with jobs increasingly filled, with these jobs increasingly filled by immigrant workers. So advocates like Oren Cass of the think tank American Compass argue that reducing access to vulnerable foreign labor could lead to better wages and benefits for Americans. But not everyone agrees. Economists also note that during the immigration surge of 2022 to 2023, businesses filled critical job vacancies, which helped, curb inflation and even prevent production slowdowns. So, yes, without immigrant workers, prices might have risen even further, and labor shortages could have definitely worsened. So some of these debates are they are not new. They've been going on, and people are noticing it. And this has been, I mean, we are all just arguing and debating over so many concerns, yet not yet knowing what's really
Mhm.
going to happen. So let's see. But everybody is, I mean, criticizing also, and some of them are with it also. But yes, coming back to this, I think what we can think about, while limiting immigration might help some American workers, it's not like a universal solution, because I think it's like a win-win situation for all, like working together, benefiting together. And our labor market is complex, and sweeping restrictions could have unintended consequences, such as labor shortages and even higher prices, like we just discussed just now. So,
Mhm.
balancing the needs of businesses, workers, and economy requires more than just hardline policies. It demands nuanced thoughtful approaches as well. So, I think that's from my side. But what's your take on this, Sam? And I'd also like the viewers, to comment if you have any views on these news updates or anything that you want to talk about. If immigrants are harming or are helping the American workers. So, what do you have to say about that, Sam?
Okay, so I think that it's many critiques actually argue about the immigrants, that are they really helping, or is it going to deteriorate, or what are the conditions? So I think that immigrants are actually not hurting American jobs. I think it's like, in fact, they are sometimes contributing to the U.S. economy. So we will definitely go and talk further in the episode that how it's benefiting U.S. economy. But many immigrants are actually bring some specialized skills and expertise too to help the industries grow and innovate. And I think one of the greatest example is Silicon Valley. We talk about it. Then a global hub, it's known for a global hub for technology and innovation. And of course, many of the leading companies in this area are actually founded or co-founded by immigrants, like including Google, who was co-founded by Sergey Brin, who was actually an immigrant from Russia. And if we talk about Intel, then it was also co-founded by Hungarian immigrant Andrew Grove. And if we talk about Tesla, then this is also a company that is, revolutionizing electric vehicles, and that was led by Elon Musk. And he too was an immigrant from South Africa. So, we can see these similar examples, and also we can see the industries, and we can see that how much growth these industries have actually put in. And, this is actually raising US economy to a height. And I think these companies are not only generating, thousands of jobs, but also driving innovation, then benefiting the US economy at large, as I mentioned right now. So I think immigrants is actually playing a very crucial role, in fostering economic growth and also maintaining the US position as a global leader in technology
Right.
and innovation too. So I think there's a huge contribution of immigrants, in keeping the US on top. And I think that's from my side. Yeah. How do you think, Napasa? Do you think that actually is it harming or what it is?
Yeah, people often say, immigration hurts American workers, but I don't think that's the truth. I mean, it's not so simple, I think, at least. Some believe having more workers from other countries means fewer jobs and lower
Mhm.
pay for Americans. But immigrants also take on important jobs, like farms, hospitals, restaurants, that this really helps the economy run smoothly. So
Mhm.
at the same time, we can't ignore the struggles of Americans looking for jobs as well. So the real solution isn't about choosing sides, really. It's about finding a way to help everyone. I mean, who wouldn't like to have a job? Everybody should have a job, and everybody should be able to earn. And we need to make sure workers, whether they're born here in America or not, they are treated fairly, while also supporting businesses that create jobs.
Mhm.
So immigration is a big topic, and it affects real people's lives everywhere. So instead of fighting about it, I wish we could work together to find a smarter solution that helps everyone. I know it's easier said than done. Me and you, Sam, talking here may
Absolutely.
not reach Donald Trump, or
Mhm.
may the leaders out there to change it all, but we can still hope for humanity, I guess.
Yeah, of course, but instead of keeping all these points aside, we can also see that obviously it is known that America is land of immigrants. So,
Right.
America is from the very beginning, America is a very smart country. It's not, see, now we have this thing of illegal immigrants, but if we only talk about the legal immigrants, so those are not just legal immigrants, those are one of the best uh, I would say best workers around the world, who go to those. Okay, so I think our president Dan has commented on our video, and he's saying great insights. Thank you so much, Dan. It's
Thank you
really
so much,
meaning
Dan.
a lot.
Thank
Yeah.
you for joining us.
Of course, of course. And I think, yeah, he's saying, and the past I can also see that there are so many guys who has joined us. So guys, welcome. And, I will continue with my point. But before that, I would like to know that I would like to tell that we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter as well. So you can also join us from whichever platform you are watching us right now. And you can also participate not only by commenting, but also by clicking on the link that is being pinned up on the comment section. Or you can also, dial this number as it is mentioned on the screen. And with this access code, you can go ahead and join us on the call and share all the information or share your point of view that you would like to go ahead and share with us. So I think, yeah, this is the thing, and Nabasa, yeah, I was talking about it that yes, so America is a very smart country from the very beginning. And the immigrants, the legal immigrants that it has right now, are actually one of the best workers around the world. So, and that too, it's making America great. I mean, literally, because all the innovation, all the technology, all the contributions that is being done by legal immigrants, I think those are really hats off, those are really, increasing the GDP growth, is actually contributing to GDP of America. So I think in terms of economy, it's a very positive thing that I mean, I don't think that immigrants are actually, hurting American workers. In fact, they are having a major contribution in this. Uh, if we also talk about like stats, so we can also say that immigrants actually adding a very significant value to U.S. economy.
Mhm.
According to National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine on 2017, immigrants actually contributed over $2 trillion to the US GDP annually. So I think this is actually a great amount, that's happening. And immigrants actually make up about 17% of the US labor force. And, it's amazing that they are actually working on this and they are contributing so much on the US economy. So yeah, this was from my side. And Napasa, what do you think that how is it impacting economy of US?
Well, it definitely is. I mean, immigrants, they play a big role in helping the US economy grow. When you talk
Mhm.
about America, it's a land of immigrants, like we have been saying. So they are a part and parcel of America already, and they fill jobs in industries like farming, construction, healthcare, technology.
Mhm.
In almost every walk of life, immigrants, they are taking part in, and these are where workers are often, apart from that, I mean, these ones which I just said, like farming, construction, and healthcare, technology, these are where workers are often in short supply,
Mhm.
so that's why they bring in immigrants to fill in these jobs, who are, I mean, who are capable of doing those jobs. I mean, when they come into the country, they have to prove that they have that job waiting for them and that they are going to be able to do that job, right, Sam? That's how
Absolutely.
that's how each visa works. So I mean, by doing these jobs, immigrants keep businesses running and make sure that they have goods and services we need every day. So they also contribute by starting their own businesses, creating jobs for others, and paying taxes that support schools, roads, and public services. So, yes, many immigrants bring new ideas and skills that help America stay competitive in the world. And instead of seeing immigration as a problem, I think it's important to recognize the positive impact immigrants have on our
Mhm.
economy. So, when given a chance, they don't just build better lives for themselves, they also help build a stronger and more successful America for all of us, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's benefit for America only. So that's the point only I
Of
wanted to
course.
make right
And
now.
the most important thing is that they are literally the best workers. They are highly educated, they are highly, I won't say properly experienced, but some on the other, they did something right. They did something truly commendable. That's why they got job in US. So I think that some on the other is benefiting America and
That's what they are qualified for those jobs.
absolutely. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And I think, Anipasa, we have received some of comments
Yeah.
from our lovely viewers. So
Raider, Raider, Raider 2099. America has traditionally been referred as a melting pot, welcoming people from many different countries, races, and religions. Absolutely, very well said. I mean, yes, they've always referred to as the
Mhm.
melting pot, or like a bowl of salad where you have everything coming in together. So that's right, Raider. Would you like
Right.
to read the next comment, Sam?
Sure, why not?
Richard.
So it's from Richard, and Richard is saying that we are worrying about the wrong things with policy fights focused on how many and which immigrants to accept, and not enough on how to mitigate the harm they create along the way.
All
Oh,
right. I think Richard has some important points. We would like to know more about it. I mean, more about your point of view, Richard. In fact, if you could join us, it would be cool to have you join us in the discussion. Maybe you could tell us more about, um, you know, how how is it harming in the long run?
absolutely.
Would be
And
good to know.
I
You can
think this
just
is
dial
also.
this number. If you
Mhm.
want, you can join in Restream. I mean, this just by clicking the link, which you can find in the comments. You can join in with video, without video. But if it's just audio, it would be easier for you to dial this number 425 433, sorry, why do I say 33? 425 436 6335, and the access code is 988888. So dial in Richard or Raider. It'll be really awesome to have you join us in this discussion. And also we have Imran Khan also, we have with a lot of comments. I think we should read them as well.
Yeah, sure.
So a lot of people argue that Imran Khan is saying, a lot of people argue that immigrants are taking jobs away from American workers, especially in industries like construction or agriculture. What does the legal framework say about the impact of immigration on job availability for US citizens? Okay. And are there legal protections in place for American workers that ensure they aren't being exploited in favor of cheaper immigrant labor? How effective are these protections in practice?
Wow.
Very interesting points made by Imran Khan. I wonder, where are you located, Imran? And thank you so much for joining us. Also, Raider and Richard, please tell us, where are you joining from? It'll be really cool to get to know you if you're not joining us on call. Keep commenting.
Yeah, right. And I'm really eager because I think, Imran, you really had a very great point. We should talk about it, like how actually workers are facing the situations. Are they really being exploited, or is it giving the same equal respect or equal value to the Americans, or is it something different? I think we would love to know more aspects and different perception as well. So it will be great, if you could join us and also let us know so that we can also learn so many different things on this topic. And yeah, Richard, then Raider, and Imran, please go ahead, and join this link as soon as possible. And let's have a great and healthy conversation, because we are here for an hour and we definitely want you guys to join us right now on our restream so that we can have a great conversation. All right. So, Napasa, yeah, I think let's move ahead with our conversation till the time different viewers also join us. So I
Sure.
yeah, I also I was talking that how immigrants are actually complementing the workforce. So till now we talked about the U.S. economy and it is benefiting, but
Yes.
it's also filling labor gaps. The immigrants are actually
Right.
taking jobs that many native-born workers are not interested in, especially
Right.
because they are mostly into good companies and a very well known companies, so they are not very much into construction or caregiving. But some on the other immigrants are actually working on this. They are preferring agriculture, they are preferring construction, or even caregiving.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, these are the jobs that are actually very crucial to the economy, though it has, I won't say it has less importance, but it's not very much in demand. But it actually, immigrants are filling these jobs, and it also allows native born workers to move up into a higher skilled positions in these things. So I think these are also the benefits that how immigrants are actually complementing the workforce.
Mhm.
And there's also another point, that is minimal effect on wages. So, studies by economists, have actually found that immigration has a very little impact on the wages of most native born workers. So, I
Mhm.
don't think that there has to be worrying about what the wages will be, or are they actually snatching their wages, because it's been the studies actually showing by economists, that immigration has a very little impact on the wages of most native born workers. In fact, I think wages for American workers are more influenced by factors like automation and outsourcing than immigration. So these are few pointers that I wanted to highlight, and that too, these are very important to understand. And moving ahead, I think, Napasa, would you like to shed light something on different perspective, or would you like to share anything else on this topic?
You know what we have been hearing a lot is mass deportation.
Mm-hmm.
Trump, as soon as, I mean, since his campaign days, once Trump comes in, we're going to see the largest deportation in the history of United States, and that's what we have been hearing and hearing. So, what do you think? How mass deportation could hinder the U.S. economy? Sam, if you could share a few views.
Yeah, I think that's a great, question, and there's a lot to think. So, I'll say, firstly, I don't know whether it's possible or not from Trump's side, but it's if he does, then I think US is going to suffer a lot in terms of economy, because I think there was some $1 trillion something. I don't remember the number exactly, but it was a huge number that was about something $1 trillion that may harm America, in terms of economy if mass deportation happens. So, firstly, I think there will be huge number of labor shortages, because immigrants make up a big part of the workforce in jobs like farming, construction, and hospitality too. So, in case if mass deportation happens, then many companies are going to struggle, and especially in these sectors, and they won't be able to find workers. That will lead to some slower production. Then that will also lead to inflation and even the products shortages as well. So, I
Right.
think farms, if we talk specifically about farms or agriculture, then I think they may lose a huge number of workers. That needs to harvest crops, and that will ultimately increase the price of food. So,
Mm.
yeah, this will be a major,
Everything.
yeah.
Everything will be, I think there'll be price hikes everywhere, not just food. I mean, of
Mhm.
course, with agriculture, then of course, food related. Then if you talk about healthcare, then maybe care related. Everything is going to become very expensive, I feel. But yes, go on. Sorry, Sam, to interrupt.
No, no, that's completely good. In fact, that's how, yeah, healthcare is also very important sector. And these are the special sectors that mostly immigrants are working. So I think we should also look upon it that these are the sectors if immigrants won't be there, or if they will be allowed to, if they'll be deported, then I think these sectors will be uh, in a big problem. And
Yeah.
second thing, I think if mass deportation happens, then there will be a less consumer spending as well. Because let me tell you, because immigrants don't just work; they also spend money on goods and services too. So if
Yes.
millions of people are deported, then I think businesses would also lose customers.
Of course.
If we think about in a little
I
different
mean,
way,
like,
right?
talk about all kinds of good, FMCG. If there are millions of immigrants consuming those goods every day, that
Right.
means all of that consumption is just going to be stopped suddenly. If
Absolutely. But that is also going to hinder a lot, if we look in that way. It's not only about how they are working, but it's also how they are spending. So
exactly,
what if a particular company have a consumer, those are mostly immigrants. So I think that company or that business is definitely going to lose the customers, and that is going to literally spend, I mean, that could hurt, economy a lot. So I think, yeah, this can also be the thing that if mass deportation is going to happen, then, or anything, if the immigrants are also going to leave America, then, these are the points, guys, that is going to hinder US economy. Then also it's business closures. So many businesses, especially in industries like agriculture and food services, are actually dependent on immigrant workers, as we have mentioned. So I think these sectors are going to lose these economies, and actually could force some companies to shut down or reduce their operations. I think ultimate solution will be to shut down, because this will actually mean fewer jobs, and it will lose the economy. So yeah, Napasa, this is also a very important thing, because the businesses, if they won't be here for industries like agriculture and food services, then I think they has to be shut down, right? There's no other option if immigrants are only not working, or if these businesses are only not going to get customers, then for what reason I think these businesses will go on.
exactly. I mean, not just businesses, but if you just look at, I mean, when you talk about population and talk about immigrants being there, a part of America for so many long years,
Hmm.
so many generations, and imagine they are filling in schools, colleges, and
Right.
if half of the school are made up of immigrants, then imagine what is going to happen. That means you're going to have
Right.
an half empty school. That means half of the fees of whatever you're getting, half of consuming of everything. I mean, everything is just going to be stopped. It's
No,
going
but
to
that's
affect
right.
everything. Yes.
Absolutely, and I'm also wondering that how this is going to happen. But okay, so we also have received one comment from a viewer, and Fawad is saying that the unemployment rate for U.S. born workers averaged 3.6% in 2023, the lowest rate on record. Okay, obviously, immigration is not causing high unemployment among U.S. born workers.
Thank you
Okay,
for that.
yeah.
Such an important information, and it's definitely adding to our conversation because it's what we need to know, I think. So yes, it's definitely not hampering. Immigration is not causing any unemployment. In fact, that's what I was talking earlier about, right? Like if there is
Mhm.
a vacancy, if there's a job available, but the first preference is anyway given to Americans first. It has to be proven that they need another person because there's no person in America who can do this job, right?
Right.
And that is why you want to hire someone else. I mean, that's how it is. So
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I think Fawad, with these stats also, these are very important to understand that how much US born workers are actually getting on record if we talk about unemployment rate. So I think this was great. And Fawad, please go ahead. I think it will be great to join you with us and to talk about anything about immigration or anything about today's topic that you would like to highlight. And I think these are the platforms, guys, for you all to share your information, and you'll be happy. We'll be happy too to have your different perspectives and different point of views. So it will be great for us, guys. So go ahead
yes,
and just click on the link that has been shared on the comment, or you can also dial us on this number with the access code. So yeah, I think that will be great. Okay, so yeah, Nepasa also, different pointers also that I would like to highlight. So it will be, if the mass deportation happens, then U.S. economy will also have fewer startups and innovations. So basically, as
yes.
we already talked about, like Google, Tesla, and Intel, these are the major industries, major companies that actually US is relying upon. So I think in case if deportation happens, or in case if something on the other, workers from these companies are actually going to lose their identities, then I think there will be very less amount of startups and innovation will be remaining in US. And I think deporting skilled workers actually going to slow down new developments in technology, science, and other fields in US, because how US is actually growing, that I don't think overall the contribution or overall the benefits, received only by the US born people. Actually, there's a huge contribution made by immigrants too to
Mhm.
make America great, right, Nabasa? Any pointer that you would like to share on this?
Yes, I mean, instead of focusing on mass deportation, I think it could be worth considering policies that balance security and
Mhm.
economic growth, because immigrants, they are not just workers, they're actually contributors to the communities and the prosperity that make America strong. So I think, yes, immigrants contribute billions of dollars in taxes every year.
Right.
These taxes support schools, roads, and healthcare programs, and deporting them would really mean losing that vital revenue. So
Mhm.
putting more pressure on the economy and public services, like we have been discussing. And Yeah, I think it would be better if they don't really focus on mass deportation.
I hope so. That doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
if that happens, I mean, that's okay for the illegal immigrants. We are not talking about illegal. But if it happens also, or if legal immigrants are also going to affect, then I think some on the other U.S. economy is definitely going to hinder. It won't
Yes.
be as uh, height or as powerful as it is now. So we also received another comment from Fawad, that is, immigrants are an integral part of labor market, filling gaps caused by demographic changes in the US and
Mhm.
contributing to strong economic growth, right? And then he's saying the immigrants that make up 18.6% of US labor force are playing key roles in numerous industries. Wow. That's really I would say a very great point, Fawad. And
Mhm.
also I would like to talk about, if you mentioned about labor force, right? So yeah, absolutely. Immigrants actually making a very substantial part of U.S. workforce, particularly in industries that rely on lower skilled labor. So I think there's also a report, according to Migration Policy Institute in 2021, where it actually shared that immigrants, 17% of the overall US labor workforce is actually there, and they make up to 26% of workers in construction and 30% of workers in the agricultural sectors. So we can see there's a huge number, huge percentage that immigrants, 26% of immigrants are working in construction, and 30% of immigrant workers, are working in agricultural sector. And I think these sectors are vital enough for the economy, and immigrants are actually filling the essential roles, that would need some kind of huge thing for US economy. So yeah, and I think moving ahead we should also talk about entrepreneurship and on innovation too, how people are actually working on this and how it's benefiting US economy. And
Right.
there's also yeah, I think Napasa, why don't you go ahead and read out Trey's comment?
Well, Trey is on YouTube. Hi, Trey. Thank you for joining us. Trey is saying, the US will be just fine without individuals from other countries. We built this country and we can maintain it. All right, that is a great view, Trey. I wonder, when were you born, and have you always been around immigrants or around your people? We'd love to know you better and more about your views, because this is a very different kind of view we've had, because ever since we were discussing, we were in favor otherwise. So Trey, please join us. Feel free to call us on this number 425-436-6335 and dial in this access code 988-888. You can also join in the link which is there in the comments. It'll be really cool to have your views and know more about this, or you can keep commenting. We'll keep reading your comments here.
Absolutely. And I'm also waiting, Trey, for your uh, absolutely amazing perception, because right now we received a very different comment that we are discussing right now. So also, Napasa, it's a very different comment that Trey has made, that US will be just fine without individuals from other countries. So I think he's completely believing, and he's completely very much in favor that US shouldn't have much or more immigrants. But I think we were talking something different. We were talking that how immigrants actually contributed in US economy and how it made actually US great. So I think, Trey, we really want to know your point of views. We really want a good, amazing debatable conversation on this, because we really want to know that how you are actually favoring it and how it's going to benefit. If only, if US doesn't allow any immigrants, then how it's going to keep America great again. So, please join us on this link that is mentioned on the comment section. And we would love to have your opinion and your point of view as well. So, yeah, Nipa, I think we should move ahead with our topic. That is, yeah, I
Sure.
was talking about entrepreneurship and innovation, right? So, yeah,
Yes.
in this also, we have seen different immigrants, who has literally made a huge impact and huge contribution in US. And if we talk about entrepreneurs, then I think Elon Musk, then Sundar Pichai, and different immigrants also, who really set an example of how a real immigrant should be. So yeah, and I think immigrants are really responsible, for founding about 25% of new US businesses, and despite
Mhm.
making up only around 13% of the population. And also immigrants are particularly, active in technology, healthcare, and retail. Like for example, nearly 30% of US tech startups are founded by immigrants. So I think that too, again, Pasa is a great number, right? Like US
Yes.
people, I think US people should know about it, that immigrants are actually working so well, and they are trying, to raise the US economy so much, as if they are working so much, so hard. And they're actually, it's a record that 30% of US tech startups are actually founded by immigrants. So I think these are some of the important stats that everyone should know, and very important pointers too. And yeah, moving ahead, Napasa, anything else that you would like to add on these topics, or anything that you would like to
I
have?
was just reading through, and it says immigrants in the U.S. Make an outsized contribution to innovation, and they comprise 16% of inventors. Immigrants were behind 23% of the patents issued between 1990 to 2016. And then immigrant inventors counted for about 19.6%, which is almost 20% of US inventors between 1880 to 1940. So you can only imagine since how long immigrants have been playing a very important role in American history as well. I
Right.
mean, as far as contributions are also concerned. And then startup founders in US, according to a 2018 study by the National Foundation for American Policy, immigrants founded and or co-founded 55% of the United States billion-dollar companies. So crazy, right? So
Absolutely.
what we know or what we already have wouldn't be possible without immigrants at all. Trey, what do you have to say on that? If you have anything, please tell us.
Because we are literally having a very different point of view. We are literally favoring on this topic. And I think, yeah, it would be great, Trey, if you could join us and let us know your different perception. How do you think it's going to benefit America, even if immigrants are not there? So yeah, please, we would love to join you with us. And yeah, also another thing, another benefit, I would say, Nepasa, that we should also talk about boosting consumer spending. So immigrants actually play a very important part, of US consumer market too. So, according to American Immigration Council, immigrants actually contributed $1.6 trillion to consumer spending in 2018. So that's a huge number, right? That immigrants are actually contributing in consumer market. So I think the spending actually supports local economies. Then it's actually boosting, demand for goods and services and stimulates some job creation too. So I think immigrants' households also contribute significantly to housing markets, and particularly in urban areas where they account for a large portion of renters and home buyers. So I think if they won't be able to buy, or if they won't be have this much demand in them, then I think consumer market will also affect. It will also have a lot and lot of. Okay, so Trey is here with another comment. Nabasa, why don't you go ahead and read it out?
Americans had already built the country and invented most of the things that pushed humanity forward. So, what did recent immigrants contribute? Well, recent immigrants with that, I don't know, but technology has definitely, you know, advanced a lot lately. And I'm sure immigrants also have contributed a lot. You can't say they were all Americans. I mean, I'm sure they were immigrants who came to America and became
Mhm.
Americans also and contributed to those kinds of success. So,
No, no, but
and
if
yeah,
you,
I mean,
yeah.
Americans also are immigrants, right? Like, that's what I was saying.
Oh, right. That's a very major.
Language immigrants.
Yeah,
I
of course,
mean,
that's it.
since a
Absolutely.
very long time, it's not just now. But yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, coming to Trey's point, he's asking about the recent immigrants' contribution. So, okay.
Yeah, no, but if we talk about immigrants' contribution, then I would also like to say, Trey, that immigrants had really had a very significant value to U.S. economy too, because if you'll go and read about national academies of science, engineering, and medicine, then if you'll go to this site, then you'll find that immigrants actually contributed over $2 trillion to the US GDP annually, or roughly 13% of total US economic output. So this is a huge number that is being contributed to immigrants in terms of GDP growth. And they're also working, because there are different sectors that Americans are not willing to work. And if they won't be able to work, I think then those sectors are definitely going to decline, or those sectors are not be able to move ahead. So I think immigrants are actually playing a very efficient role in these sectors, especially agriculture, healthcare, and caregiving, or different sectors that US people are actually not willing to work. So they are working on this. They are actually trying to share some contribution in the US economy. And if they won't be there, then I think there will be labor shortage, there will be less consumer spending, then business will get closed, and there will be very less startups and innovations too. And I think economy will also, I think it will literally lay down. And population is also a very major point, because immigrants are also going to maintains a good amount of population, and that also helping businesses to grow. So yeah, here's another point that is okay. So this is the point only, yeah, that Trey was saying. So I think Napasa, yeah, I think this is from my end. I think I have shared a few of the most important things that Trey has commented. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all from my side, Trey. Hmm.
I mean, yes, you've said it all, and we have been discussing the same things since the beginning of this session today, Sam. And
Hmm.
we were making a point, trying to say point over and over that immigrants have been a major part of America, and they have contributed to the economy, benefiting the economy in so many ways. They are paying taxes, which are, contributing to schools, roads, and also they are not just workers, they are contributing to the economy in so many other ways. So being consumers, they are also consumers, they are a part of the economy as a whole. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely correct. And I think Trey, if you still have any different point of views or anything else, that I think that you definitely have, because just writing two comments, and I don't think that's enough. But I think it will be great if you can also join us. And
Exactly, I wish Christians to join us,
yeah,
trail we great.
because we also want to know that if something on the other, if this is also correct what you are saying, then I think we would love to know that way also, because it's always great to explore different things and to explore different point of views. So yeah, Trey, it's a great opportunity for you also to have your opinion in front of everyone and just share it. We would love to hear that. And here's another comment from Fawad, that he's saying Trump's mass deportation plan would be economic disaster. For US, loss of migrant workers would trigger productivity losses and a new round of inflationary pricing pressure. Yeah, I think this was the point, right, Napasa, that we were discussing, and we actually discussed during, uh, I think, during our show also. So yeah, these are the things that we were discussing. Anything else, Napasa, that you would like to add on or would like to share about this topic to our viewers?
I think we have been covering a lot on
Hmm.
this, but I was just reading through so many other articles. Maybe I could read through another one. And this one was, yes, about the mass deportation. Since we're talking about that, the higher ed immigration portal says more than 400,000 undocumented students, okay, are currently enrolled in higher education across the United States, and some students fear that they won't be able to return to the country, as Trump has promised to launch the largest mass deportation in American history to tackle illegal migration from day one of his presidency. So yes, University of Colorado, Denver professor Chloe East told BBC News also that all international students are worried right now. Students
Hmm.
are incredibly overwhelmed and stressed out right now as a result of the uncertainty around immigration. So they have a lot of students, and they have concerns about their visas and whether they'll be allowed to continue their education. So this is what is going on right now, and these are undocumented students,
Hmm.
400,000 of them. Sam, what do you have to say on this? It's
I think
definitely stressing out a lot of people out there, that's for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And I think there are, different countries also that we can see some similar news. Like if we say in Los Angeles also, then there's also becoming a sanctuary city.
Sanctuary city,
So
yes.
yeah, I think different countries are actually having different opinion, and they are not very much preferring this, that Trump is going to deport millions of immigrants. They are actually trying to help immigrants. Even if we talk about Biden, then Biden is also trying to help immigrants by I think launching some ICE app. He also launched that. So some on the other, that's also um, kind of helping immigrants. So he has a very different perspective. Trump has obviously a very different perspective, and different countries, they are also moving ahead and talking about their own different opinions. Some are helping immigrants, some are not. And Los Angeles is also taking a very bold step in this by actually preparing to declare itself a sanctuary city. So I think this means that now local governments like city police departments or schools are actually not going to I mean, they are going to help immigrants. And I think there's a lot to discuss about it. And I think we have a very different point of views with different cities, different countries, with different viewers. So I
I mean,
think,
talking
yeah.
about it, then, I mean, there were news about Trump's border czar, Tom Homan slams Denver mayor for stance on deportations, saying he's willing to put him in jail. Crazy. But
but
yes, I mean,
but
the
Tom
situation in Los Angeles, like you were
uh-huh.
saying, the city becoming the sanctuary city, claiming itself. That was like Tom Homan's response to this, like,
Hmm.
so yeah, the former ICE director told them to get the hell out of the way because the deportations would happen regardless. So you know how Tom Homan is.
Tom Homan is Tom Homan. Nobody can say. There was a interview, where Tom Homan was being asked that, is there any other way to stop family separation? Then he replied to that, yes, there's a way, that is by deporting all families together instead of
Deporting them
separating.
together as a family. Yeah.
So yeah, that was really different. And there's also news that.
Yeah, this is what I was just talking about. Yeah. Get the
Mhm.
hell out of the way because the deportations would happen regardless.
Oh my God. But I think some on the other, it's fine, right? If you are actually being protected towards your country, I think this is the attitude that, you need to have for your country, for your people, if you're a nationalist. So I don't find anything wrong, because this is how, he has to be. Now, there's no other chance or no other way that he can talk and he can clean up his country, because most of the people are thinking that illegal immigrants are now creating and increasing crimes and assaults and so many illegal activities that are going. So they are actually keeping this in mind, that it's happening because of illegal immigrants.
Mhm.
So I think this is a very bold step, by Tom, who, like, he is taking and saying,
Well, he
get
is
things
good.
up.
There is no doubt about that. He doesn't care about anything, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I think Napasa, we have touched, I mean, different points, and we also have talked about, I mean, how it's going to impact immigrants and how it's going to impact the U.S. economy. So yeah, I think that's all from our side, and it's almost time as well, an hour. And I think we also received different comments from our viewers too, and they
Mhm.
shared their point of view. So it was really great having you all, everyone. And now I think we should wrap up, because it's almost time, and we have covered a lot of topics today. So what say?
Yeah, sure. I think since nobody's joining, but I mean, it would be really cool to. I'm not saying nobody's joining; they're all joining in comments. But I wish you could join us in this conversation. It's
Right.
cooler to have more thoughts, more perspective, and sharing this experience together would be great. But not to worry if you couldn't join us today. We keep coming Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So, tomorrow again, we're going to be here. I hope you can join us, and it's going to be another topic for discussion. We are Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. We are on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on X. Don't forget to follow us, connect with us. And, on YouTube, you can hit that bell icon so that whenever we have discussions like these, you can be notified and you can join us. And apart from these daily, I mean, this show we have at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Daily Immigration Dose. We also have a lot of information, a lot of updates, daily updates on our channel. You should go check out. We also have a lot of amazing webinars with different guest attorneys who have great advices, and you would definitely benefit, listening to all those shows. So watch them and share them. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was great being here. And Sam, it's always great to have discussions with you.
Yeah, me too, same here.
And
And
even Rajni couldn't join us today. I wish she could join, but I think she's busy.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Rajni, we miss you today. You always join us every day, so I wish you could join us.
right. And we actually willing to have different point of view of Rajni too, because when she comes, she actually have a very different
Yeah, like
information
a
about the
fresh
topic.
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So we actually missed that, but that's okay. Also, guys, it will be great also if you could also join us. And I think now it's time to conclude. So, just a concluding thing that I would like to go ahead and say that. Most of us actually thinking that immigrants are you know they are we are thinking on the positive and negative sides, but I think we should also we should be flexible enough to accept all the realities that's happening. So I think more on the other, we should accept it that yes, immigrants are actually working and they are contributing to US economy, and they are driving growth through their labor contributions, then also entrepreneur activities, and they're also tax paying and consumer spending too. We can't forget that. So
Mhm.
I think their role is very essential in industries and contributions to innovation. And public finance demonstrate that immigration actually strengthening the U.S. economy across multiple dimensions. So
Mhm.
without their continued participation, I don't think that U.S. is going to
Be
have
US.
this. Yeah, exactly, the US. So I think otherwise there will be labor shortages, there will be slower economic growth, and there will be some potential challenges in maintaining the social security system too. So yeah, these were some of the major concluding points that wanted to highlight. So that's all, guys, from our side. And thank you everyone, thank you each one of you for joining us, commenting, and this really means a lot. And thank you, Napasa, too. It's really great to have you again on another episode of Daily
No,
Immigration.
it's cool
Yeah,
we do this together, really, and it's always good. I look forward for our 4 p.m. daily immigration dose
me
every
too.
day, so it's really cool.
Absolutely.
So great, guys! Thank you so much for joining us, all of you. Fawad, Trey, we had Richard, Raider, Dan. Thank you so much for joining us. Imran Khan, Shaukat, amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this today. And see you. You have a great day ahead. And yeah, stay tuned on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show.